this country, because I know I'm also on air, that KICD also develops the curriculum for student teachers. Primary school teachers, as they are, have been teaching our children up to standard 8, and they pass examinations. You are able to successfully facilitate learning of those learners up to grade 9. So let nobody tunya you. You are able to do that work. That is something that needs to be put in this country. And therefore, I challenge anyone who says that grade 7 has been a wasted year for our learners to tell me this head teacher who will keep children in school and they're just laughing around and nobody is teaching them. So I have come to your schools all over this country. From here, last week alone I was in Anabkoi. I went all the way to Webuye. Now this week I'm in Mombasa. The other day I was in a school called Langobaya. I have been assured in this country that learning is taking place actively. Now, yes, make that clap louder to motivate me to continue. Thank you. You also asked me to talk about innovating learning, the curriculum and innovating pedagogy. Now, let me give you only about 5 things to remember that we must keep thinking about principles as we talk about what is new in this curriculum. What is the innovation in this curriculum? What's the difference between this curriculum and the other one? Number 1, that we want to make learning interesting. Say interesting. If nothing is of interest, if you don't have sufficient interest in an activity, then you don't have sufficient motivation to study it. In my role as a university lecturer, I've always told my students when they're doing postgraduate studies, when you choose a topic, and there are many of them here, choose one that you are sufficiently interested in to wake up at dawn to be able to spend your time reading. Number 2, experience. So the first one is interest. Ladies and gentlemen, in some other bigger words, we call this experientialism. Say experientialism. Yes. If you want to be given a VIP tent where I come from, you must arm yourself with a few big words when you are making a speech. So Chairman, you know where to take me after today. Please, make sure that the learners with you, using the resources at your disposal, have the opportunity to experience that which they are learning. And I'm very proud of what you do, ladies and gentlemen. I've come to your schools, public schools, and I've seen children being able to weave. I've seen children improvise even microphones and make reports like journalists who are trained. I have seen people sing, create instruments, and perform like a whole band, and some have been circulating. I have challenged my colleagues in some sectors who say that CBC was meant for private school learners. Let them come into our public schools and they see what head teachers have been able to do with the resources that they have. Because I have come to your school and seen you produce wonderful Sukuma Wiki. I went to a school called MM Shah. I don't know if that Lego man is here. Tall gentleman. One of the most organized head teachers I've come across. Mr. Barongo, this fellow has a complete modern poultry that is being run completely by the students. Is Mr. Oriedi here? Now, Chairman, I know some of your people who are skiving. You can see I'm mentioning them. Eh? Yes. We have been able to innovate through experience. The third one, colleagues, related to that, is practicality. Say practicality. I don't want to say that more than Dr. Mabonga captured it. And Dr. Mabonga has given us a formula that I also want to advocate. After talking to SEPU, you can also talk to KICD, that we can get ways of even improvising those laboratories. We can use the science kits, which have been approved by KICD. We can use the mobile labs, and we can give you ideas through CDF and other avenues on how we can get them in school. I have seen some of you walk with children to neighboring secondary schools and have them to go through experimentation. I've seen some of you invite secondary school science teachers to come and do experiments in your school. Who is this who is saying that grade 7 has a wasted year for an RDE? That is practicality. The fourth innovation we are making in the curriculum is utility. Say utility. Ladies and gentlemen, at whatever level the learners are, we want to be able to look at everything we teach in a strand or in a substrand in terms of its practical value to the environment where the children are. That is what we call a competency. And hence, one of the key competencies in that curriculum is problem solving. At the end of the day, we go to school so that we can solve problems. So in every strand and every substrand, there is a link to pertinent and contemporary issues. We have a challenge there to teachers and even learners that what is the product, what is the outcome of this strand in terms of day-to-day living. Even when you teach English language like me, and you have gone to teach children listening at grade 4, at the end of the day, we should be able to give the children a listening task and recall that indeed they were able to separate that which was important to listen to from the noise that we hear out there. That is utility value of the curriculum. The last one, that one of the changes, the key innovations in this curriculum is the question of transforming teachers into action researchers. And I know Dr. Manyasi will talk about it soon. Being a researcher myself, we are saying that that classroom of yours is a laboratory for diagnosing the needs, the challenges, and other variables that we might want to give feedback to KICD to think about, give feedback to NEC to think about, give feedback to publishers, including government, KLB, to think about. Transforming ourselves as teachers into action researchers. So these days, when I come to your schools and I talk to your teachers, I tell them that when I hear you talk in that 30-minute lesson for more than 10 minutes, that lesson is a failure. Can I hear you talk for 5 minutes and children are doing things for the next 25 minutes? As I close, you told me to talk about innovating curriculum and pedagogy. Now, what about a pedagogy? In terms of pedagogy, anytime somebody says pedagogy, think about 4 things. Now, this one, I'm saying as a professor of teacher education, you can quote me on this. One of the things you think about as a pedagogist is planning. Say planning. As we prepare to teach CBC learners, planning is important. Let us spend even 1 hour or 4 hours planning in terms of what are the experiences I want these learners to have? What is going to be the competency that I target out of these experiences? What will the children be able to do to demonstrate this knowledge? Planning. The next thing, say teaching and learning. After planning, you go to class. That is the time now you say good morning. And a few of us say, shortly after saying good morning, they ask the children, do you understand? Even before they have spoken. Good morning, children. Good morning, sir. Do you understand? Now, teaching and learning is an art, ladies and gentlemen. Now we are saying, and the principles we are talking about are nothing rocket science. Teaching from the known to the unknown, from the simple to the complex, collaborative learning, using examples, linking to the practical issues things children can talk about, taking them out, basic issues. So we are now saying, as you go into that class to teach and learn, or my brother, my sister, as you walk around the teaching and learning spaces, if you hear a teacher whose voice dominates the classroom, later on have a cup of tea with them and tell them that I did not hear the children make noise. If you hear a class where the children are loud, they are vibrant, they have walked out, they are touching, they are employing all the 6 senses, then we know teaching and learning is taking place. That is item number 2 in pedagogy. Item number 3 in pedagogy is resources. Say resources. Yes. I want to say that one job where most of the resources we need to teach or to deliver is teaching. Let me again give the example as a teacher of English language. That looking at these tools here, If I had a classroom, it doesn't matter that I'm teaching pre-primary or that I'm teaching senior school. A lot of this is already my laboratory, and I can use all these resources. Can we just think without the box a little bit, and we will realize that we have a lot of resources that we are right now able to use. However, I am in this space, ladies and gentlemen, for 3 years, and I can tell you the government is really trying. Against fights like education takes 29% of our budget. It is something that the government is going out of its way to sacrifice to do. I have accompanied my PS and my CS as they negotiate for us to be able to have curriculum designs distributed, to be able to have books in every learning area distributed to every learner on a 1-to-1 ratio. And do you know what has happened from grade 8? From grade 8, for every learning area, you're going to have 2 books. So in mathematics, we'll give you, if you have 100 children, we'll give you 60 books by